Good afternoon, my friends and colleagues. Let's take a minute to give God glory even in a bad day, that there's still things we can be thankful for. And on that note, let's get into the nitty-gritty of Fort Harrod, which is my main project. Now, there is another link that will be above this one that will actually have video of myself in full Native American gear from the time period at the fort, doing a little bit of walking tour and a little bit of brief history. But I really want to get into why this fort is so important in the Revolutionary War period. The thing we need to realize is that 1774 is when this thing was founded. So it's 2 years before the Declaration of Independence. Yet, all the stuff that's going on in Massachusetts and Boston, New York, in some cases Charlestown, it's not really got out to west what we consider Kentucky yet. But 37 men came to make this fort. When they got here, they had to go over a lot of different rough terrain to get here. They got here, they saw the town of what would become Harrodsburg. And because of the waterways and the abundance of animal, that's where they decided to settle in on it. They had to go back because things got a little rough. Too many Native American attacks. They brought more men. They came back in 1775. Within months, it was a town. Let's just call it what it was. It was a town. Everything you needed was there. It may take you a while to get the supplies over here, but we have it. Even the first loom to weave cloth was there in 1775. So as the war grows, the population of the town is going up and down. Sometimes it goes down because men are going off to fight. Other times it's going up because men are getting away from the fighting. They don't want to be part of it. So they come out to the west to try to get a place. When this goes along, the war is in full force now. We have people coming there trying to recruit for both sides. Let's not kid ourselves there. They're coming for both sides to get people. Mainly the people from the fort abundantly side with the American cause. They want liberty. They want freedom. They realize they've broken the law with the proclamation line of 1763, which forbade anybody crossing the Appalachian Mountains. The reason the Native Americans are so upset because they're openly breaking this law. And pretty much the American government said, if we win, we're going to throw this law out like it doesn't exist. The British kept trying to reinforce it, even though, in all reality, there's not much they could have done. But it gives you a good reason why the Native Americans during the Revolutionary War tend, in the western sides, the Shawnee, the Cherokee, so forth, really stuck with the British because they're fighting to protect their homelands. And the British are promising them to keep it. They can have it back if they'll help them fight. The early part of the war, as we know, the American cause is not doing so well. And in 1777, it's called the Bloody Sevens here in Kentucky and Fort Harrod. There are raids at Fort Boonesborough. There are raids on Fort Logan. There are raids on Fort Harrod. And had it not been for the water supply at Fort Harrod, it would have fallen. The water supply kept it alive. This goes on for many months. For about 13 months, there was a siege at Fort Harrod. At one point, it got so bad that the ladies got fed up and they couldn't go out and get anything. So they just walk out of the fort. Natives are really scared. Not really strong phrase. Natives were shocked that these women just so blatantly walked out of the fort to get stuff. They didn't attack. They let them go back, get their stuff, and go back in. But as the tides of the war change, we have a lot more on the western front happening. There are more prominent people that we know of, such as Simon Kenton and George Rogers Clark. They're making plans to go take the west out. That way the British can't do a flank move to come back in and trap. So when this happens, we look at Vincennes area a little later on, but it happens. That took place at Fort Harrod. This stuff all is happening there. So it's a major, major player during the war. We can't just rule it out. Most people never heard of it. The last official battle of the Revolutionary War happens after the war's over. Officially, it was at Blue Licks, where Daniel Boone was captured by the Shawnee and made a captive. But when that battle takes place, it was the frontiersmen, the settlers who thought they were still fighting against the British agents, Native Americans. They go out and fight. A lot of those men came from Fort Harrod to rescue Boone. So this place was still going on that late after the war was over. The only reason they didn't know the war's over is there was no Twitter. We couldn't get information that quick. They just didn't know. So this place has a prominent spot in American history. To kind of give you how far it came in such a short amount of time, this has nothing to do with the Revolutionary War, but it's just a really cool fact. In 1813, there was still one of the original cabins there being lived in by one of the original members there. Her name was Anne McGuffey. And about 500 feet away, there was what they called, make sure I'm telling you this right, I don't want to get the wrong name. Where did it go? A 22-acre, about 32,000 square foot Greek-style revival mansion, 500 feet apart from each other. You have frontier cabin, Greek-style mansion, that close. That's how fast this place went up and how important it was. Just some other side facts. It has nothing to do with what the Revolutionary War, but they're still cool facts. In 1934, President Franklin D. Roosevelt visited. He gave up a monument to George Rogers Clark and his expeditions. They also have the largest collection of flintlock rifles in, I think, the East Coast is there, housed there. Really cool place if you have a chance to go to it. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Now, of course, this video is not as long as the 10-minute requirement, but if you put them both together, it's well what you need. Facts are all incredible information at Fort Harrod. Please go visit if you're in Kentucky. Go see it. Amazing place. The cabins are still there. Really cool place. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned a little bit. I hope to see you in Kentucky and at Fort Harrod. Thank you.